Alrighty, so it's been a while, probably a few months, but I'm back, and today we're gonna finish Micah's Rhino. Micah, if you're watching this, my apologies for the long wait, buddy. We're gonna get the rest of the details in, and then we're gonna go ahead and color it. Hopefully I can do this all in one go here. There isn't too much, but yeah, let's go ahead and begin. Looks like I have my two layers here. That's my drop shadow, and this is my main sketch. We're doing all of this in one sketch here, one painting, one layer. Oh, definitely want that to be my brush. So let's go ahead and begin. It looks like our values are pretty solid, and my poor laptop is having a very hard time keeping up with Photoshop and running OBS Studio. So I will hopefully get this through. That's good. Without any hassle. Looks like his bat here is a bit crooked. Let's go ahead and fix that. Fix his arm up a bit. So, in my absence, I recently got a new job and have been working full time, so it's been very hard for me to work on commissions and especially work on personal projects. So, to my Patreon people, unfortunately, I will be stopping my commissions so that I can really concentrate on more of the stuff that I need to work on personally, which would be graphic novel stuff as well as just personal exploration projects. I really need to get better with color and study that theory a bit more so I can get a better grasp on how to approach paintings in a more professional, make them look a bit more professional and a bit more clean and looking good. But I will keep you all involved in that process as well, as we're doing right now. And again, it's been a while, and just want to take the time to let you know that I'm still in the game. It's just hard to find time to play the game. Speaking of which, I might try something in the future with VR. There is a fun application that I've been playing around with. It's a painting application in VR. You get a virtual palette and a virtual canvas, and you paint, and it's really cool. It's not obviously it's not like real painting. It's got its quirks, but I found it very pleasant to work with, and it was honestly quite alarming how realistic it felt. I'm a huge advocate for VR. I do play a lot, and it's just if I can combine two things that I love, I think I can make something of that. Okay, so again, just trying to make sure I'm getting my darkest darks where they belong. And that can be tricky, especially if you don't have references like I am doing right now, which I'm not supposed to be doing, am I? But that is besides the point. I don't have references for value, unfortunately. At this point, I do have to kind of guess on where my lights are and how intense they are. Oh, his thumb's going to be kind of wrapping over his fingies. Oh boy, yeah, it's. I know I said in the past here that I was gonna change up my setup because my poor laptop cannot handle all of these applications open at once. But I do like working on my Mac. It's It's definitely geared towards Photoshop and any Adobe Suite application for that matter. And it's just easier that way. I do have an external hard drive that I'm working from, and I might have to clean up just a bit more so that I can have my laptops run a bit smoother. Because, yeah, again, as you can see, it's having a hard time kind of keeping up with my brush strokes here, which doesn't actually happen outside of recording, but we will manage. We will adapt, overcome. Hooah. Alright, it's not perfect. It's a little weird looking. I'll try to play with that dimension just a little bit more. Play with that form. Not getting caught up on every nitty-gritty detail, which is hard. It is very hard. And as you can see, it's pretty rough. I think cleanup is very hard for me. Again, I'm very much I don't finalize things very well. But maybe that's something I can work on, and you guys can hopefully see me develop here over time. I'm also not a line person. As much as I loved drawing when I was younger, going to school and learning to paint has definitely, that changes your mindset on how you approach a piece of work, especially a painting. It's a lot about form. As I hope that you all can remember the very first video, we did start with almost like a silhouette of the figure, and in line drawing you would actually just go ahead and start drawing in the form, and that would usually be my approach when I was younger. But again, becoming a painter and learning the approaches to setting up a painting and the mindset of a painter, it's a lot more about form and shapes, which is kind of cool. It definitely presented a different perspective on how you view things in your life, which is pretty neat. However, it has been hard for me to break that mold of that mindset, I guess you could say, and it has been hard for me to become more of a drawer, a line person, which it would nice to be to have that balance. Simply because it would give me more options. It would give me a wider spectrum of technique. But it is the artist's journey. Yeah, you can see that there's a lot of cleanup that needs to be done. Because I am just a sloppy guy. And I did realize that rhinos more, not like a beak, but they have a pointy lip, like a turtle lip. It's kind of adorable. Got little turtle lips. So I'm just gonna give him more of a little turtle lip there. As much as I wouldn't want to fight him, because he was intimidating, because he's very intimidating. But I would not want to fight him because just look at that face. He's just, he's cute. Distractions. As some of you may know, I recently got married too, so having that under my belt and having a lovely wife and somebody who supports my endeavors has been life-changing, and it's incredibly special to have somebody who can live through your quirks and love you with unconditional love, and doing the same with them. She's very much a person that is very easy to love, and I truly appreciate everything that she does for me. She's a remarkable person. Um, just waiting for my laptop to catch up here. Whew. All right, I'm kind of roughly fill this in just because there is some texture in their face. It's not a smooth. He doesn't have like a face wash routine or a beauty routine. Unfortunately, I don't think rhinos would have that. I hope everybody else is staying healthy and safe too. I know it's kind of a weird world out there right now. Kind of scary. A lot of people I know have the new variant or have caught the new variant. It's alarming, but again, I'm hoping everybody else is staying safe and healthy because it's rough. I remember having that pretty much the first time it came out, the January of 2019 or January of 2020 when when they announced it and it became a thing and the whole pandemic. That was unfortunate. That was the worst sore throat I have ever had in my entire life. And I would very much not like to relive that. Okay. Straighten out your club, buddy. Better for smashing stuff if it's not crooked. I'd say that's a sound assumption. A little counterweight there. Let's see. How's that look? Does that look straight? Yeah. Okay. It's pretty good. It might seem that I'm kind of rushing. In some regards, yes, because I'm very much excited about the coloring process. If you've heard of the service Domestika, it is a wonderful service that you can pay for basically online classes to teach you how to do whatever your heart desires. In this case, I am taking a course on light to hopefully better my understanding of how light interacts with color and with an environment and with everything that it touches. Light is an incredible science and it is really cool. And I just need to wrap my head around some of the concepts because it is a complex endeavor. But I am very much ready to learn that because, like I said before, I think learning processes, learning about stuff, understanding stuff is the key to becoming a better artist. It's like when I was mentioning with references, if you don't know what you're drawing, then it's kind of hard to draw it. Alrighty, so that's looking pretty good. He's got a nice big old bat ready to smack somebody upside the head. Although he does seem like a pacifist in my opinion. I love Control Z. Thank you, Control Z. You have done so much. So there's a hard light right there. There is an underlying light that would be reflective of this position over here. Actually like how this is developing over here too, because that's reflecting more of the ambient light. Just a small inclusion of reflective surface. Spheres are an interesting phenomena. They are a natural shape. I guess you could, in theory, have a sphere, but not like a true sphere. There would be some abnormalities within the sphere, or would-be sphere, but it's an interesting geometric shape. And very hard, not very hard to render. If you know, like I said, with light, if you know the science behind light, there really isn't much that you can not draw or render or understand. Oh, straight lines, come on. Nope. Nope. It'll do. Oops. There we go. And then I'll just need a harder highlight there. I'm not going to go full on white on this one. And oh, we still need to finish kind of his skirt here. I'm going to make it like a studded armor, studded leather armor. I need a lot darker down there. Maybe not like a true black. That should do though. Wonder what they make it out of actually. That's kind of concerning to think about. If you know what leather is made of, him having leather definitely brings the conclusion that he got it from somewhere. I might not deep dive into that question right now. Might be for another project. Come on, tablet. Put some more dark down here since it is being covered. There we go. Soften that up a little bit there. Oh boy, it's really struggling. All right, I'm going to keep that semi-transparent. Maybe I'll just do like a quick outline to help suggest the form and give it some texture. Just so it's not a confusing mess. Cool. Alrighty. On to his bits there. Cool. Yeah. Just a little bit more of a dark. Help separate those shapes. Cool. And I did say that it was studded, so these rivets need to be rivets involved. For those who are curious about what I play in VR, I hate to go on this topic. I know it's stupid, but I'd like to talk about it. Because there's a game called Into the Radius, and it's a very spectacular game. And I like games that introduce almost simulation-esque components. And this certainly does. And it's also got a very nice element of, I wouldn't say horror, but, well, I guess you could say horror. I'd say cosmic horror. But just an enjoyable game. VR's a very fun media, and my poor wife has to hear about it all the time because I like to talk about it. But I shall spare you all the nitty gritty. But I did want to mention that game because if you do have VR, if you like VR, if you like cosmic horror, if you have fascination with SCPs, if you have a fascination with Lovecraftian mythology, this game would probably be up your alley. And I would highly recommend it to anybody. If you're a gun nut, it's very much a gun-friendly game, I guess you could say. Um, well, I think I might close this in just a little bit. Oops. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and put in his studs. Been finding it very hard to get time to do this kind of stuff anymore, and it's kind of sad. Being a full-time worker is, sometimes it's not what I expect it to be. I liked part-time because I had more time to do this kind of stuff. But it's nice to have work. I really do enjoy the work that I do. And if you find the right job, and if it's a fulfilling experience for you, then why not? I mean, there shouldn't be any reason not to enjoy work. If you're in a job right now that you don't like, I guess sometimes there aren't any options, but stick with it. I was in a job before this one that required a lot of customer service, and as much as I care about other people's struggles, sometimes you can't solve everyone's problems. And that's a conclusion I had to kind of wrestle with and not take so personally, which was indeed very, very difficult. But now that I'm away from that and working in kind of light manufacturing, working for a print company that does professional printing mounts and gallery mounts for the photographer or for artists. It is very much a different, more creative experience, and working with my hands again has really ramped up my passion and remembering my passion for being a hands-on person. Not only just the visual arts, but also just making stuff. For those of you who know me, I'm a very I love archery, and I like to blacksmith. And recently, just got a table saw so I can make a box bellows for my forge. And that is incredibly exciting. Getting tools for Christmas, for any kind of gift right now, has been. It's how you know. That's how you've made it to adulthood, is when tools excite you. And going to Lowe's or Home Depot is no longer a devastating blow to your weekend. Going out with your dad to Lowe's, it's now an experience that you look forward to. At least I do. For those of you who could care less about tools, my sympathies go out to you. Just kidding. You don't have to like tools. But for me, the creative process, whatever it may be, is a truly fulfilling experience. And that's what I do most of my time at my new job. So rather than fixing stuff, I actually get to make stuff. And by golly, that is a good feeling. So I am kind of just blurring out this back leg here. And it looks like we got pretty much everything set. He looks pretty good. Looks solid. Probably forgetting stuff, but again, me and my excitement for coloring is too great to ignore. Oh no. Am I my eraser? I am. There we go. Gonna soften this up on the hard brush just a bit, just to give more value up here. I don't know how I feel about that. Again, Control Z coming in for the win. That feels a little bit better. Not my favorite. It's hard when you have a cylindrical form, such as this, a forearm, and you have a hard light coming in from this direction, and also a softer ambient light coming from this direction. So it's hard to kind of figure out, okay, where are my darkest darks going to be, if there are any. There probably aren't too many darks in this scenario, but you definitely have some harder highlights. I could use a bit of a softening up there, especially knowing that it is a metal surface. That was very Slytherin of me. Surface. I say that a lot to my wife. Whenever I'm grateful, I say, there's a part in Harry Potter where he saves the snake, and he says, "Thanks." And that has made it into my vocabulary. I am a Hufflepuff, but doesn't mean I can slur my words. If you haven't taken if you're a Harry Potter fan, obviously you probably would have taken your house sorting test. I happen to be a Hufflepuff, and good on me. But if you haven't, it's always fun. I like that kind of stuff. Okay, it's there we go. Okay, I'm getting stuck in an area, and I should move on. Okay, let's take a look, see where we're at. Okay. My left arm's falling asleep. I have it resting on my keyboard, and it's slightly elevated above my waist here, and that's definitely playing with my circulation. I definitely feel that. Noted. And his club. Rather than spikes, I was thinking about spikes, but I think I might just do studs. He's definitely more of a Rhino for naming and not slaughtering, so we're gonna reflect that in his club. It's a nice club. Oh, one thing I do need to add is his horn. Once again, getting that highlight in there. It's not the smoothest surface, so you will have some imperfections within that surface, and just kind of quickly representing that with some stray lines there. Maybe some reflective bits on the top there as well. Then, oops, nice big highlight on the top there. We'll see how that looks and how that translates. Not so well. So we're going to take this semi-medium value and kind of go back and mimic what we were doing in the highlights. As you can see, there are some pretty significant lines that permeate the form, and it's kind of breaking the illusion. So I'm going to try to go back and reform those to help realign the illusion, which isn't working out as great. So I'm just going to try to maybe just soften this up a bit. All right, that looks a bit better. Can't forget the reflective light on the very bottom there. Okay, all right, I'm going to go ahead and just add the studs. So what I do is I start off with the dark. That gives you kind of the base. And then what we'll do is we'll just go in with the medium value, fill in that area. Oops. And then go back into the highlights. So just kind of following suit with how forms are made and how they're represented in a dimensional format. And these little studs here will have a small little highlight there. I'm not going to make it too harsh as I scroll all the way up to pure white. No. But we'll make it there. A little reflective surface on the bottom. A bit more prominent on this end, just because it's hitting that surface a bit harder. So you might go in with a bit of a darker value here, just a little bit. Help kind of keep the form going here. There we go. And then go back in with my highlight. There we go. Since this is getting pretty direct light, I am going to bump up the highlight just a bit. Oops. Soften the brush up and kind of lightly go in and fill out some more highlight. There we go. A lot better. I love watching Bob Ross because you'll watch his painting process, and sometimes it gets to the point where like, Bob, what are you doing, buddy? what's going on here? And then he'll just do one stroke, and it's like, oh my god, it's a mountain. Holy smokes, what happened? Where did that come from? Um, but I just love that. I love that with simple techniques and simple brush strokes, uh, they can be incredibly effective. And he achieves such a high level of looseness, I guess you could say, but also precision. And the um, the precision doesn't come from the what am I trying to say here? The texture that he can achieve with his brushstroke techniques are not sloppy. I guess they're controlled. They're controlled, but they're not precise. And I love seeing the result of that. I think that's so cool. So I lightened up the edges just a little bit, softened them up, especially in this back area a bit, just to kind of help give the illusion that he's in a dimensional space. And I might have to go back into my foreground and shadow, oops, and give a bit more presence. Am I erasing? I am. Oh dear. Give more presence in the shadow there. And you know what? I might lift up his leg just a tad. So now he's really stepping. Okay. How's that? Well, okay, it's. I will accept this. And oops, come on, brush. Just, ooh, too much, too much. Not in the right spot. Go back. There we go. There we go. Oh dear. I'm really making a mess of this. Don't look. Everybody don't look. Okay. All right. How are we doing on time? Let's take a look. 30 minutes? 38 minutes? Okay. Okay. I might actually break it up here and call this good for now. But I will go ahead and just I'll record another session here and do the color. But in the meantime, I hope you all stay healthy, happy, and safe. Take care.